Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. Thank you so much for joining this platform. Please like and share this program. Share to all platforms, share to family and friends. We have come once again to update you as you always do. We bring information to your doorstep, things that you must know that are happening in the contraption called Nigeria, things that has to do with the Biafran people. I want to share with you a very important video. It has become so common that whenever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes to court, that the media of Nigeria will push lies and propaganda, and they will try to twist whatever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said to favor their own evil agenda. Today, there is a twist where they are saying and promoting and saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is begging and asking for settlement out of court. That is a blatant lie. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made a clear and plain statement on video where he was interviewed and asked a straight question. I don't know why Nigerian media have chosen to toe another path, and today they are creating and driving another narrative, telling the world that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is begging and asking for settlement out of court. There is nothing of such. This is a lie from the pit of hell, and Biafrans have to be aware. We should wake up and try to debunk all this nonsense that they are pushing on their media. This is why we say Nigeria will never ever survive, and it will never ever know peace, because they have no truth. They use their media to push lies against the Biafran people. I want you to watch this video carefully to the end. You will see what I'm talking about. Let's watch.
Today. Are you seeking an out-of-court settlement with the federal government?
It's them that is holding me. They should tell me what they want to do with me.
Look, it's a direct question. Yes. Sir, are you seeking an out-of-court settlement with the federal government?
I can't seek what I didn't initiate. They are the ones that kidnapped me and brought me here. So it's whatever they say that will happen.
But your lawyer is trying to move Section 17 of the Federal High Court Act,
yes,
which calls for negotiation. Are you in line with that?
I reminded the judge of powers.
I think it's the judge's powers. I don't think it's within his powers. It's for the judge to decide.
Okay, so would you want the judge to decide that?
Yes. It is up to her discretion to do that.
Okay, but now she has sent you to the AGF. So how would you explore that particular position of the court?
Well, the prosecutor, who is prosecuting by fiat, is not opposed to that. He too said we can go to AGF, and we are saying AGF can also come to us. That's correct. So that means they are open to the prospects of reconciliation. That's what the law says.
Okay.
He's actually quoting the law, what the law says.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not me.
Thank you very much, sir.
Faces charges of 7 counts of terrorism, which he denies. But in court earlier today, Mr. Kanu's lawyers said they were ready to enter into negotiation with the federal government through the Office of the Attorney General in an attempt to seek some form of reconciliation and settlement, to which the presiding judge, Justice Binta Nyako, said he had no objection, and it was up to the parties to agree on the way they want the matter to go. So what happens next? Could this be a way out for the beleaguered separatist leader, or is it just another dead end? Well, for more on this, let's turn to Arise political editor and director of news, Sumner Samba. Good to see you, Sumner.
Thank you so much, Charles.
Just tell us more about today's trial.
Yeah, very important conclusion, at least by both parties. Nnamdi Kanu is saying that the provisions of the law actually provide for a discussion. And if you actually look at Section 17 of the Federal High Court rules, it actually allows for the court to intervene and provide, a ground for some sort of reconciliation that could actually lead to an out-of-court settlement. And so if Aloy Ejimako, who is actually the lawyer for Nnamdi Kanu, is actually saying that this could be used to settle this issue, and Ademoyega, Aomolo Ademoyega, actually saying that...
Who represents the
federal government saying that,
yeah.
look, you can actually do that, but my client, the federal government, only asked me to prosecute you, not to actually get into negotiations. Then you have to go to the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice to actually put your demand before him, and it's left for the federal government to actually consider or not. So it could actually be a way out of the crisis and the challenges that we have. Because look, Charles, if we've had Bello Bodejo, who is the president of the Mieti Allah association, Cattle Breeders Association, who was charged with terrorism, and he had his terrorism charges quashed recently, why can't we look for a political solution to this? We also had Sunday Igboho, who was having the Yoruba Nation agitations. And I mean, we could see how that issue was taken off. Now, the issue at stake now is why that of Nnamdi Kanu continues to linger. And it beggars to believe, when one begins to see the attitude of the Nigerian authorities to what is happening in the Southeast region. That's why sometimes myself and others continue to question the sort of lamentation strategy by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, when he keeps lamenting that until Simon Ekpa, for example, the factional leader of IPOB, is brought into Nigeria,
right,
that
the guy in Finland.
in Finland, that it can't be stopped and all of that. The issues are bigger than Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa. These are issues of injustices, grievances. I would have heard elder statesman Chief Edwin Clark say not quite long ago when he turned 97 that one of the things that should be done is to assess the grievances of the country and see how those issues can be settled through restructuring, through good governance, and for the federal government to give certain powers to the component parts of the federation so that these issues can be resolved. The issue is not necessarily Nnamdi Kanu. The issue is not necessarily Simon Ekpa, but those in authorities have failed to actually take a critical look as to what is making these agitations, secessionist groups to actually spring up, including in the incumbent president's region, over and over.
Yeah,
That's
a
a
good point.
There needs to be a new strategy, and that strategy it's more politically inclined than military inclined.
That's a
because
good point.
We've been wasting bullets, guns, ammunitions, and everything, and this issue hasn't stopped. With soldiers being killed.
Yeah, that's a good point. But specifically in Nnamdi Kanu's case, is there a point to be made that the reason they're holding him the way they are is the fact that he was granted bail. So there was no issue of prejudice or anything at that point. He was granted bail, and then something happened, and then he skipped bail, and then went forward and in violation of all the things of that bail when he
that was
left
in
the country.
2017.
Right, and then they had to sort of spirit him back, even though the process by which he was brought back is considered illegal.
Yeah, but it's called extraordinary rendition, when the government engages in illegality to actually get someone who's
I'm wondering
wanted.
whether that is a consideration for why their backs seem to have got very stiff over the issue right now.
Yeah, I understand how bitter the Nigerian state is. And of course, there's no government that will stay aloof and watch what's happening in the southeast of the country, where you see on specific days, you have sit at home, going on with a whole region losing, so much to, these separatist groups. I mean, there's no government that will watch, these people wanting to take over a region. But for how long are we going to continue this? And if we've been able to make a success out of the fight against insurgency in the Northeast with the Boko Haram, it's been able to go down, and we're able to do this de-radicalization policy by the defense headquarters, why can't we apply same in the southeast of the country? So there are so many things that the Nigerian government, is not really telling us about the southeast. Because we've come to a conclusion at some point that, yes, we need to restructure our constitution. We need to do certain things to assuage the feelings of people in different parts of the country. But people are beginning to ask questions that if separatist leaders in the Southwest have been granted bail, they've been left off the hook, and that of the North, they've been left off the hook, what is happening?
Well, they're not actually left off the hook.
Yeah, but they said that they had undergone lots of, trials in the courts and all of that. Some of the leaders got killed, especially in the Northeast. But we are saying that for this, there seems to be some sort of delay on this Nnamdi Kanu's issue. And while we are saying that the law should take its course if it's actually wrong, but nonetheless, there seems to be a delay over this particular issue. Now, what happened in 2017 is actually the reason why we're here. And that's why I said the lamentation strategy by the Chief of Defense Staff on Simon Ekpa, if it's not properly handled, we may have another Nnamdi Kanu situation at hand, where if he is intercepted and he brought to Nigeria, it could trigger off more protests, more agitations, more killings in the Southeast. So What we need to do is to look for ways to settle this issue politically. And when you hear people like Edwin Clark saying this, you will know that, yes, they may not have gone through it the right way. And of course, nobody will condone the killing of soldiers and other military men. But the continued use of force
is fueling the
crisis. It's fueling it.
Okay.
And then
let me
someone like
Nnamdi
Kanu, if the court process is not quickly concluded,
right,
there will be a tendency for people to think that even the courts have been tied by the government and
so
we're not
very
making
quickly,
a headway.
We're running out of time. How much support and sympathy does Mr. Kanu have in Nigeria insofar as it is possible to gauge that?
Well, he continues to enjoy a lot of sympathy from people, and that's why you see that the monies continue to come in both within Nigeria and outside because of that sympathy that the Southeast continues to face political marginalization over the years. The agitation has always been that why have we failed to have a president of Southeast extraction or a vice president of Southeast extraction since after Alex Ekweme in the Second Republic? Could this possibly help resolve the issue if we're able to, as a nation, see how we can devolve powers in such a way that, you know, we could reduce this agitation? And then could it be that the call for a new state in the Southeast, for example, if it's given, would help reduce some of these, you know, separatist agitations? We must do something to make the Southeast to look like it's not just being seen to be part of Nigeria, but it is actually part of Nigeria. And that's why we're saying that if, of recent, we could have this issue, terrorism charges slammed against the president of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, Bello Bodejo, and they were removed. They were discharged. The federal government removed these same charges from him. Why can't it apply so that this issue in the Northeast, in the Southeast, will be quelled and Nigeria will focus more on development?
Right. So your assessment at the moment is that in the face of lots of calls from prominent Nigerians, you mentioned Edwin Clark amongst them, for Mr. Kanu's release, that there is no sense that the government of President Tinubu is listening to those calls at all.
Yes, and that's why we want him to actually fulfill his campaign promises, because he said he was going to restructure the country. We're going to see how we'll get the country back together and have a conversation. Because if we don't do this, solve these political problems that have been there with us over time, that are built on injustices, the next president will come and inherit them, and it will be a problem. Look, there's nobody that supports what IPOB and ESN are doing, but they are not the problems. They are symptoms of the problem. The real problems are political issues that have not been settled since the 1967 to 1970 war. And yes, the Southeast leaders too need to come into this, because they should understand that power is not given. You have to work for it. So there must be a decision by the Southeast leaders to work with people like Nnamdi Kanu and see how they can work with President Tinubu. There's nothing that dialogue cannot solve. And President Tinubu should actually prepare a template that could make this kind of conversation to be easy, not like what former President Buhari had done. Don't forget, a former Minister of Aviation, who is dead now, Amechi, had led a delegation of Igbo leaders to beg for Nnamdi Kanu's release. But what the former President Buhari said...
Are you talking about
No. Amechi Mbazulike, the very first Minister of Aviation.
Okay, when you said Amechi, it's got a bit confusing.
Yeah. So what former President Buhari then has said is that justice should take its course. But people are beginning to say that why is Nnamdi Kanu's own case taking too long for the justice system to go on? So this is a golden opportunity. If Nnamdi Kanu himself is seeking for reconciliation, the federal government should take a second look at it. Nobody actually supports what Nnamdi Kanu's supporters are doing and what he himself may have done. But if there could be a win-win whereby, even if it's shorter sentence, given to him to resolve these issues, it will be better, because the Southeast is bleeding and the soldiers and policemen being sent there are being killed. Okay. And then citizens too are being killed, including those people who are the separatist leaders and all of that. We can actually solve this bloodshed issue and, within 6 months actually resolve the issues. Right. Okay. And that's why the judge was very smart. Justice Binta Nyako said, We as a court do not have a solution to this. This is more in the realm of politics. Go and speak with the Attorney General of the Federation, and you see how we can take it up from there.
Okay. On that note, Sumner, thank you very much indeed. Sumner Sambo is the Rise Political Editor and Director of News.
Thank you so much for watching the program. I appreciate you for your patience to watch from beginning to end. I hope you have learned a lot from this very program that I just played, this video. Please like and share the video. Share to all platforms. After sharing the video, now you can go to the comment section and put down your comments. Whatever suggestions, contributions you have to make, what do you think about the video I just played? Go to the comment section and put your comment. I will go to the comment section, and I bet you I am learning a lot from there, and you can equally learn from there. Let us share our experience on that comment section. Thank you so much, and stay blessed. Don't forget to share, and we continue to bless you as you share. Biafra government, peace, progress, unity, and equity. We move.